Hi everyone, welcome back to Page of Heart, where stories meet. Today's episode is about a short story, The Morning Ride by Alfian. Let's get started. This short story is about a young Malaysian boy who reveals his family dynamics and cultural setting. The story is set in Singapore, specifically during a motorcycle ride through quiet streets at dawn. The physical setting is less important than the emotional and cultural backdrop, a Malaysian household, a working-class neighborhood, and a society navigating modernity and tradition.
The story focuses on a young Malay boy named Amin. Everything we see, the confusion, the longing, the silence, is filtered through his eyes. He is an observant and sensitive person who is trying to make sense of his emotionally distant father.
And then there's the father, a very important and powerful character without much spoken from him. He is reserved, proud, and very nonchalant. He doesn't express love so openly, but you could tell that he cares deeply. His silence says just as much as his words, or maybe even more.
The story is set in Singapore. It's mostly taken during early morning rides through the silent streets. But the physical location almost fades away because the actual focus is on the emotional atmosphere of the home and relationship.
Yeah, exactly. We can feel the working class environment. Iron shirts, black coffee, and quiet mornings. However, what really stands out is the emotional setting. A household where things can go unspoken and affection is expressed through routine without words.
Well, now that takes us to the conflict, and it's layered. There's the internal conflict in Amin, his desire to understand his father, to connect with him, but he does not know how. Then there's the quiet interpersonal conflict tension between the father and son, and also hints of marital strain in the background.
And don't forget the cultural conflict. This story also touches the expectations in Malay culture, especially around masculinity. Amin's father keeps things mostly private, proud, and never shows vulnerability. That isn't just his personality, it is cultural.
Let us move on to the themes, because that's what makes the story resonate so deeply.
Firstly is parental love and emotional distance. The love is there, but it's not so expressed. It's quite hidden. Then there's the idea of unspoken communication. The father doesn't often explain things, and so Amin is left to fill in the blanks.
Afterwards, there's also a childhood innocence versus adult detachment. Amin sees the world with hope, curiosity, but he is slowly noticing how adults, such as his father, carry heavy burdens they never speak about.
And of course, the cultural expectations of masculinity. Amin's father does not cry, nor praise, nor show weakness, because he's been taught that it is not what a real man does.
The writing is beautifully lyrical and reflective. It is not dramatic but soft and observant, using simple but poetic language. And since it is told from Amin's point of view, we experience the world with a child's quiet sensitivity.
The emotion is so understated. We don't really see intense fights or breakdown, but it is the little things we don't notice much. The way Amin's father sips his coffee or how he avoids making eye contact, which hits us the hardest.
Lastly, let's look at symbolism. The motorcycle itself is a metaphor, a journey that shows the physical closeness of the father and son, but also their emotional distance.
There is also the car, the Mercedes-Benz, representing pride, secrets, and the father's identity, and a rearview mirror that is also a symbol. Amin is always gazing at his father from behind, never face to face or even eye to eye.
And don't forget the last image, where Amin visualizes overtaking his father, symbolizing maturity. He does not have the intention to beat his father, but he just has this desire to understand him, to earn his love, and to be noticed.
Although The Morning Ride is a quiet story, it says so much about family, culture, and the things we leave unspoken.
It reminds us that love isn't always spoken. Sometimes it's just silence in the small unnoticed details and rides to school.
And that every child wants to be noticed, to ensure that they know that they matter, even if words were never spoken out loud.
That's all for today. Thanks for listening. Stay tuned and we will be back next time with another story that speaks beyond the page.